that, I feel like I kind of wasted the first 35 years of my life, and what got me out of it was, marriage, family, and coming to Islam. That is, suddenly understanding what the word God actually meant. I was never able to understand kind of the image of God as the old guy with the beard, the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel, and the whole, Father, Son, Holy Ghost, Trinity, all that stuff didn't work for me. So I was kind of at a loss. And then this Islamic conception of God with the 99 names, the discourse on God in the Islamic tradition suddenly revealed to me what God really was. And that's kind of what helped me out. And I'm also attracted to Islam, not only because its message seems to me to be the straight path, not that it's the only path, but certainly it's the straight one, but also because there is still a community of people in Islam who actually honor and worship God and who haven't been affected by this satanic Illuminati consumer culture that you're talking about. Do you think that maybe this is one reason why Muslims have been scapegoated and turned into the next great enemy with the 9/11 inside job and the war on Islam that followed?
Yes, I think it's a factor, but they're also being put, they're migrating to Europe and North America, and they're being used to just create a whole heterogeneous mix.
Right, the multicultural paradise that they're setting up for us. All right, I'll be back in a moment. This is Kevin Barrett. I'm talking with Dr. Henry Makow. He's the author of a number of great books, including two on the Illuminati, brand new one, Illuminati 2, Hidden Deceit and Seduction. We'll be back in a moment for more, so stick around. Follow-up, Illuminati 2, Deceit and Seduction, Hidden History, Social Engineering, and Satanism. Henry, can you tell us a little bit about the satanic aspect of all of this? Because, the standard line on the Illuminati and the Masons is that they were deists. And so they believed that, maybe there's a God, but if so, he took a hike. And so therefore we, the elite, should rule on Earth as a good God would rule if he were here, which he isn't. So,
they want you to believe it's a good God, but of course they're not a good God. These people are depraved. In my book, Illuminati 2, there's lots of evidence that these people are the most depraved people on the face of the earth because their satanic belief is that they have to outrage and trample and defy everything that is good and healthy and God-given. So their defiance of God is a defiance of all that is decent and decorous and healthy. And for example, every kind of sexual deviance, including incest and pedophilia. So these people, and it's all in my book Illuminati 2. These people are evil, unfortunately. I wish they were just after power and money. But unfortunately, it's a lot worse than that. But Kevin, I want to just go back to the multiculturalism that we were talking about before the break.
Okay.
I mean, it's obvious that multiculturalism, like feminism, is just more elite social engineering. I mean, there's no law that says that people from Africa or Asia have to come and live in America, is there? I mean, you don't see hundreds of thousands of Americans, millions of Americans migrating to there. I mean, this is all being done in order to dilute the European Christian character of Europe and North America. It's being done deliberately. And
is that so that the culture will be weakened and unable to withstand these people?
No, these people aren't the problem. It's to withstand the Illuminati bankers, yeah.
Right.
And their agenda, because we'll have less and less in common with our neighbors. That's the point. And I want to tell your readers that your listeners that this is in the Protocols of the Elders of Zion, and that is the most important book on the New World Order that you can read. And don't believe people who tell you that it's a forgery. It's not. It's authentic. And I go into why in my Illuminati book. And it's in this book they say we have to undermine every collective identity except our own. And by that they mean race, religion, nation, and family. And that's why they're undermining gender, for example, in order to undermine family. And that's why multiculturalism is a way of undermining racial cohesion and national cohesion. I have nothing, I'm an immigrant myself. I have nothing against immigrants. But if you talk to them, they don't want to be here. They're here out of economic necessity. If these bankers weren't so busy raping their countries in Africa, these people would be able to stay in their own country.
That's an interesting take. I don't know. I guess I still have a little bit of this kind of utopian sense that it would be, I like different cultures. I like going out and living different places and hanging around with people who are different from the people I grew up with. So I guess, I'm kind of a sucker for the multiculturalism pitch.
Well, me too. I like Indian restaurants and Vietnamese restaurants, and I like seeing. And I'm not against all immigration. But this immigration is migration. It's now a form of invasion. We're all for immigration, but we're not for it being used for political, a very pernicious political agenda.
Right, and I guess there's that argument that as the U.S. becomes so wildly multicultural, it's basically it's going to be a tissue of nothing but minorities, including the Europeans are going to be a minority by 2050, that it won't have the national strength to be able to throw off these Illuminati bankers, which it could. All we have to do is take back the constitutional duty of Congress to create the currency instead of giving it to these bankers to, create money out of nothing at interest and get repaid back in the principal and the interest, thereby accumulating more and more and more of the pie every year. All we have to do is take back our currency, and there is a currency reform movement that's suggesting we do just that. Do you think that has a possibility of success?
Honestly, no.
Okay.
The problem is that the way this system works is they essentially buy the complicity of everybody. So essentially, the politicians are all paid and bought for. The corporations they own control of. You only need 4% of the shares to control a corporation. So they've essentially, we live in a satanic dispensation where everybody has sold their soul to the devil in order to be successful. If you're not successful, like you and me, Kevin, we haven't sold to the devil. Of course, So that's the problem. We live in a dispensation where people have been given the offer and they've taken it. And so the whole society is rotten because anyone in a position of power or influence has essentially sold out, and whether they know it or not.
Well, history suggests that these things move in cycles to some extent, and I hope we'll be moving into a different dispensation in my lifetime, inshallah. Well, hey, Henry Makow, it's been wonderful. Thank you so much for coming on the show, and tell us once more about your website and your books.
HenryMakow.com, M-A-K-O-W. Kevin, I've enjoyed talking to you. You are really one of the most literate and intelligent interviewers I've come across. So it's been a pleasure.
Well, thanks, Henry. I appreciate it. You're one of the best, most stimulating writers and guests I've come across. I hope to have you back.
Thanks a million.
Okay, you
Bye
too.
for now.
Take care. Bye-bye. Henry Makow on the web at henrymakow.com. I'm Kevin Barrett of truthjihad.com. We will be back next week, inshallah, with more outside-the-box talk. So until then, have a great week.